Do you need a full gram of RSO daily to kill cancer? Now, that's a common question that we get over here at MyFitLife. And the correct answer is it matters. Okay. So it matters what stage of cancer you're at, stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it also matters how you personally react to the RSO. Okay. So I'll cover what I've seen over the years of how people react to varying dosages with stages 1 through 4 of cancer. So the effective dose range that I've seen people have success with is 600 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram per day of the RSO. Now, not everyone needs the full gram. Some people react better than others. So, in other words, there's outliers who need less than a gram a day, and there's actually some outliers on the other side of that that need more than a gram a day. All right. The key point with this is you don't know which category you're in until you try. You don't know if you're one of those people that reacts really well that will need that can get success with less than a gram a day. Okay. You don't know if you're one of those people until you actually try. So the success patterns that we've observed over the years is some people succeed at 600 milligrams per day of the RSO, but they did many other things alongside it. And they did the right things because there's like hundreds of things that you'll be told to do by friends and family and doctors and all kinds of different people, but most of them aren't the right things. So these people did the 600 milligrams or whatever, like a lighter dosage, but they did it diligently day in and day out. And they also did the other things, that were beneficial for beating the cancer. If you have questions about what those things are, then just ask them in the group or set a consultation with me, and I'll go over that with you. Okay. But the thing that I want to point out is I've seen more people start at 600 milligrams and have to move up to 1,000 milligrams per day to achieve success. So, in other words, out of all the people that do the 600 milligrams per day, then I've seen more people have to move up to the 1,000 milligrams per day, because they actually got worse and had to move up to get better, than I have seen people do 600 milligrams and succeed. I've definitely seen people do the lighter dosage and succeed, but less have succeeded than more people that start at 600 milligrams have to move up to the 1,000 milligrams because they move into later stages of cancer, and it's either that or die, right? So those who succeed at lower doses are often more diligent with the complete protocol. I just want to reiterate that again. Okay, so that's very, very important no matter what stage you're at, is to be very diligent and not to take anything lightly and not to depend solely on the RSO. All righty. So here's a stage by stage breakdown, and I'll begin with stage 1 and we'll go all the way through to stage 4 cancer. Okay. So in stage 1, 600 milligrams daily can work if you're diligent with taking it every single day. You be patient, persistent, and consistent with your efforts. Take the full trifecta of health. So the cannabis oils, the Shilajit elixirs, and the MSM. Okay. And then have proper eating habits that actually will beneficially fight cancer, and don't take it lightly thinking it's only stage 1, because people do that. They'll be like a little bit lax with their protocol because it's stage 1, and then it quickly moves into stage 2, 3, and 4 after that. And here's the thing about the stage 1. If you can get away with 600 milligrams, like I said, if you're diligent with your protocol, but if you did do a gram a day, like if you didn't want to guess and you just did the gram a day at stage 1, the thing that would happen is you would just heal quicker and better, right? So who would want that, right? So doing a gram a day at stage 1, there's nothing wrong with it, and you'll just heal quicker. And the one cool thing about it is if you decided at stage 1 to do 600 milligrams and just see how that goes, and if you advanced into stage 2, 3, or 4, then you just move up to the 1,000 milligrams and fight it that way, right? So you have some runway, on the road to try and fail, and if you did fail, then you could just move your dosages up, right? You don't have that convenience at later stages, and we'll go over that in a minute. So hopefully that makes sense with that. So stage 2 cancer It's similar to stage one, and you could sort of attack it the same way. 600 milligrams can work if it's truly stage two and it's contained in one area, right? And again, if you did the gram a day at stage two, you would just accelerate the healing and heal quicker. And at stage two, you still have some runway. You still, if the 600 milligrams fails and you move to stage three or four, then you could definitely move up to that gram per day. Okay, so it's cool. Stage one and two, if you try that 600 milligrams, you have runway to try it, and if you succeed, then awesome. If you fail and it moves to stage three or four, then you just move up to that gram a day and deal with your situation. Okay. Now at stage three, it's so close to stage four that, and you could jump from stage three to stage four from one doctor visit to the next, right? So, because of that, I recommend a full gram daily for stage three. It is possible for some outliers to succeed at 600 milligrams per day, but they're the people that react exceptionally well to the RSO. Okay. And in my eyes, this is where you need a full frontal assault approach, because at stage three, the cancer is doing a full frontal assault on you. So you need to put a full frontal assault on it. That's my opinion. And doing a gram a day will suffice with that, right? Now, moving over to stage four, it's strongly recommended to do 1,000 milligrams a day, right? Because the cancer is spreading, it's in multiple places at this point, and you're basically, dying, right? Just to be blunt about it. And, it's the cancer is definitely doing a full frontal assault on you. So you need to do the same to it. And the 600 milligram success stories at stage four are very rare. Okay. They're very rare. And the critical point to think about is, if you're at stage four cancer and you try the 600 milligrams and fail, there's no more road left. There's no more runway. Okay. The consequence on the other side of failing at stage four is death. There is no like second chance at that. So there's no room for, let me try this and see. It's your life. So at this point, you definitely want to do the gram per day, and just do that full frontal assault to battle the cancer and do the best you can to overcome it. Okay. So as a risk assessment, the early stages, stages one and two, if you try the 600 milligrams and fail, that just means that you'll advance to stage three and four. And then at that point, you can increase the dose to that gram a day and just deal with the situation. At the late stages, stage three and four, failure means death. So there is no second chances. So at that point, if you're in stage three or four, my opinion, obviously, do a gram a day, right? And things to think about are the cost difference between 600 milligrams per day and 1,000 milligrams per day isn't really that much, right? So the two reasons that people don't want to do the full gram a day and want to do less is usually because of a cost factor or because of the high. They don't want to be so high. So if it's a cost factor, it's not that much of a difference, per day. And then if between 600 milligrams and 1,000 milligrams, and then if it's the high that you're worried about, just deal with it. You'll get used to it over time, and the high, doesn't affect you as much and all that kind of stuff. So just deal with it for the short period of time that you have to do this for, and move on with your life, right? And then the treatment period is relatively short. Okay, so it's usually about 3 months to a year, so 3 to 12 months, and then the maintenance dose after that to maintain results and prevent the cancer from coming back, from reoccurring, it is usually about 100 to 200 milligrams, so way less than a gram a day, right? Like 10% or 20% of that. So you just do it for that 3 months to a year, put up with the cost, put up with the high, and overcome your situation, and then taper down into that maintenance phase. That's the way I would do it. And personally, like, if you want to know how I would do each stage, and at each stage, like if it was stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, I would do the full gram a day, right? Because just because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to overcome the situation. I'd be diligent with the protocol. I'd do water fasting. I'd do all the different things that I know will help to overcome cancer, and do the gram a day of RSO on top of that, right? Because I want to make sure that I beat the thing, get no detectable cancer in my body, and then go down into the maintenance phase to maintain results afterwards, right? So some key takeaways for you are the success rate is around 70 to 75%, for people that try RSO to battle cancer. All right. And that's if you do the proper protocols and the proper, um, like things that go along with it, like the proper food intake, doing some, you know, detoxing and fasting, staying away from, like toxic cleaners in your house and different things that you could do just to make sure that you are in the best situation to beat the cancer. So, in other words, don't just rely on RSO alone. Use the complete trifecta of health, the MSM, the Shilajit, and then make the lifestyle changes, the food changes, the cleaning product changes, and all the different things that you can do on top of that, right? And then another thing to think about is keep taking it no matter how you feel. Some days you'll feel good and you take it on those days. Don't think that you're like, oh, I feel better. I'm gonna take a little less, or I won't take it today. If you feel good, take it. Some days you'll feel bad. On those days, take it. Don't think, oh, it's not working right now, whatever. I'm not going to take it today. No matter how good you feel or how bad you feel, if you're battling cancer, you take your protocol. You do it day in and day out, no matter what. Be patient, persistent, and consistent with your efforts. Okay. And then for stages 3 and 4, it's your life, right? So invest in the full gram a day protocol and just deal with it and do your best to overcome the situation. Do your best to battle the cancer. All righty. So in closing, I feel that it's better to do more and heal faster than risk your life by doing less. It's a short-term investment for long-term survival. Okay. So hopefully that all makes sense. If you have any questions about that, just reach out. We do have a free cannabis oil secrets group where we talk about RSO and feco. That's pretty much all we talk about, plus the other things you could do to also enhance your healing process with the cancer, all the other things that you can do. We talk about that in there as well, the supporting supplements and the food intake, water fasting, detoxing, all that kind of stuff as well. And it's at school.com/feco, and again, it's free to join, and you can ask all the questions you want in there, and myself and other people will give you some proper answers. This is Al Marenton with My Fit Life. Hope you have a beautiful day.